Judge for the 428th Judicial District. Candidates are Scot Courtney and incumbent Bill Henry. Good evening, gentlemen. As is the case, Mr. Henry, you have the ability to go first and see the incumbent, or you can pass.
I'll go first.
Okay. Mr. Courtney?
Good evening for all of y'all that have the tenacity to stay. Thank you. My name is Scot Courtney. I'm running for the 428th District Judge position. It's available in this next election. I wanted to echo some of the sentiments from some of the other candidates earlier in regards to appreciation to the law enforcement officers in our community and their interest in putting this on tonight. It shows that they are interested in what's going on in their community. And I applaud them for that. I also want to echo some of the sentiments of some of the earlier candidates regarding stability in the election process. Judge Henry and I have sat down several times previously to tonight over the last year to discuss that exact issue. We pledged to each other that we would be civil to each other. We don't have any personal conflicts. It's a professional job, and that's what I want to bring to it. Again, my name is Scot Courtney. Moved back here to San Marcos 6 years ago with my wife to raise our child. That was about 6 years ago. It was my second tour of duty. I was here in the 80s, going to school here, and that's why we chose to move back here from San Marcos. Graduated there in 1990, and I'm proud to say I'm a seventh generation Texan. We've always been here, even before it was Texas. I'm a licensed attorney for 16 years, since 1994. I'm board certified in criminal law, one of only 3 in the county of Davis. I do not apologize for being a criminal defense attorney. It is a noble profession. It is a profession that you can go into court, hold your head high, and fight for the rights of all citizens. It is the protections of the Constitution that protect us all. I do not apologize for that. I am a very good attorney. I pride myself on the expertise that I bring to the courthouse. I pride myself on the knowledge of the law. Approximately 35% of my practice is here in Hays County. The rest of my practice takes me all over the state. I practice in over 47 different Texas counties. I practice in 10 of the 14 courts of appeals. I practice in the Court of Criminal Appeals, the Texas Supreme Court, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, the Federal District Courts of Texas and Mississippi, Louisiana, and Florida, the United States Supreme Court. My experience is vast. I also have experience in other areas of law: family law, probate, partnership and corporate formations, trademarks, copyrights, civil asset forfeitures, entertainment contract. I'm a published author. I've written a book, and I was published in law school on law review. And as I said before, I do not apologize for my chosen profession. I feel it's a noble profession. I want to bring that nobility to the court here in Hays County. As part of my job, I represent peace officers all around the state of Texas through what's called TMPA. It's a so-called sister organization of CLEAT. Most law enforcement officers, if they are members of unions, are members of CLEAT or TMPA. There's no crossing. CLEAT just happens to be the local area union. They do great work. They protect our law enforcement officers. That's what I'm proud to say I do all over the state. In 2004, before we moved here, I was nominated and named one of the top lawyers by H Texas Magazine in Houston. Right on the heels of that, my wife and I chose to move to San Marcos. We did not move to San Marcos to make our riches. We moved here because we love it. My practice still takes me away from Hays County. myself, the Hayes County, and the citizens here. And I think I have the professionalism and the knowledge to make that court the best in the state. I think Hayes County deserves the best in everything this legal profession has to offer. I want to contribute my talents and expertise to Hayes County. I want to dedicate my talents, and most importantly, I want to remove politics from the district court. I think it has infiltrated, and it's something that one reason why I'm running for this office. The job of district judge is not one for civic reward, it's one for excellence. Excellence in the job, and dedication to the job. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Bill Henry, and I'm your district court judge. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight. I want to thank Fleet and FOP for putting this together. It's an important part of the process. I think Mr. Courtney is correct. One thing, that experience is a big part of this process. I've been a lawyer for 22 years. I've served as an assistant district attorney. I've served as an assistant attorney general. I've handled complex cases both on the civil and the criminal side. I come in front of this court on a daily basis. In 2004, we worked with our legislature, our commissioner's court, to put together some numbers to try to get this court established. I was an instrumental part of getting the court established, and I've been there from day one, working to get this court going from the ground up, making it one of the most hardest and efficient and accessible courts in the history of our county. A couple of things I've been working on, and a couple of things are part of my DNA, part of my judicial philosophy. Number one, that people who commit violent crimes ought to be held accountable for their actions. We have one of the greatest communities in the state, in our nation, in our world, and we want to keep it that way. When you come into our county and you commit a crime against an innocent person, my judicial philosophy is that you're going to be held accountable. Secondly, the thing that we've been working on is trying to wisely spend your tax dollars. I'm proud to say that as of this week, we've done some calculation, and we're going to come in over $100,000 under budget this time. We came in under budget last year. We've been able to do that by being accessible, efficient, and hard-working. Another thing that we've been doing is been trying to invest ourselves in this community. Heard something about politics. I tell you, when good lawyers get a ruling against them, they take their lumps and move on to the next case. When bad lawyers get a ruling against them, they call it politics and throw a tantrum. The fact of the matter is that I'm invested in this community. I get up every morning and try to figure out how we can make this community a better place. The judge is not tainted by being active in the community. The judge is not tainted by knowing our county. A judge is made stronger. A judge is made better by that. I ask for your support. I ask for your endorsement, and I look forward to continue to answer your questions. Thank you.
Okay, the first question goes to Judge Henry. The docket continues to be overcrowded with crimes against persons. These include sexual violence and child abuse cases. Many of these cases have been continued for an extensive amount of time. What are your plans to alleviate this backlog and allow these victims to have their day in court?
Some people, both sides actually, have continuances for legitimate reasons, sometimes. Sometimes both sides overuse continuances for tactical reasons. What we've done is we've tried to keep that down, but it's a problem because people come up, as both the state and the defense come up with legitimate reasons to get things continued. There's good news and there's bad news in that. The good news is that in the next time, if I'm elected, I intend to lock down on that a little bit. But I think it's important for law enforcement and important for defense attorneys to know that that may not help the state all the time, and it may not help the defense all the time. It's an idea that you're going to have to cut it both ways and be fair and impartial to both sides.
Mr. Courtney, do you need a question repeated?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Well, I don't think there's any excuses for it. The judge is there to administrate the case. I noticed one of the other earlier cases talked about subpoenas and law enforcement officers standing around not knowing when they're going to be called. That's part of it. The judge is there to keep a case on track. The judge is there to manage his docket. The judge is there to make sure that those victims do get their day in court, to make sure that they do get to come in and face their accusers, not to continually put the case off for an extended period of time. That also runs into jail overcrowding. If you have one, you'll probably have the other. It's a series of events, and they are all interconnected. I have practiced throughout the entire state, and I have seen all the different systems and how it's done. And I've seen how it's done effectively. And I'd like to bring that to Hays County. I agree. There's no excuse for it. Judge Henry suggests that he wants to look at it and he's going to lock down on it in the future. Well, there's been 6 years of it. The time to lock down is past. I agree. You do have to look at it on a case-by-case basis and be fair and impartial to both sides. But there comes a time, after an extended period of time, we call in our business it's time to fish or cut bait. And you bring the parties to the table and you tell them, look, we're going to try this case. It's not being done.